Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ. And man, we are at the after our first game. Look at this, man. TAVON Wilson Sr. gets AFC Player of the Week. I just noticed this actually. So let's look at how much XP he got, because usually when you win those awards, you do win additional XP for that week. So let's just see exactly how much he got. So let's look at TAVON Wilson here. Let's see. So Defensive Player of the Week only won 668. Man, that's kind of disappointing there. So I guess only 668 for winning Defensive Player of the Week, but I guess it's something. So let's look at the rest of the league here. So it looks like in our division, the Chiefs went 1-0. Raiders went 0-1. Chargers went 0-1. We're actually going up against the Cowboys. Let's check out the Cowboys. Let's see how they're doing. So look at the Cowboys. I believe they lost their first game. So let's see. They have Dak Prescott as their quarterback, Jordan Howard at running back, receivers Jordan Matthews and Switzer and Jalen Strong. Switzer's a pretty good rookie. But really right now all we have to worry about is Jordan Matthews, as far as we can man cover all of them. They have Zach Ertz and Jordan Howard. Their offensive line is decent. Looks like I can actually get to them. It looks like the defensive line isn't too overpowering. Joey Bosa might have a pretty good game versus them. It looks like their team, I mean, Anthony Barr is a guy that we have to watch out for. He's that middle linebacker. I think he's outside linebacker in real life. He may have just changed the position. But here at cornerback, they do have Desmond Trufant and Kyle Fuller and Hargreaves. So I think I'm going to have, they're going to be pretty good in the secondary there. That's a pretty good secondary. Then Mike Mitchell over the top. Mike Mitchell's a pretty good safety, as well as Keanu O'Neal. So I might be in for a little bit. Might have to be a little bit cautious when throwing the ball. But another big thing I did, let's just go to transactions here, man. I made 2 trades already. And I decided, remember the last video I was saying that I'm not sold on Jacoby Brissett. I just like can't really, I don't know. I just don't feel for him because he doesn't play for the Broncos. He doesn't play for the Packers. So I'm not really like a big fan of his. And he's a 3rd string quarterback at that. But here's what I did, man. I traded Chris Thompson, who was basically my pseudo 3rd down running back, because I don't really have a running back with speed. But I did trade him to the Redskins for CJ Spiller, who's got basically the same speed. Not much of a difference. I think it's 1 point. I think CJ Spiller is 90 speed. And then a 4th round pick. And that's significant because if I get a stockpile of 3rd and 4th round picks, I can unload my 1st round pick for a pretty good player, because people in this league really like those 1st round picks. Some people do, at least. And then what I do is I trade Kenny Clark to the Steelers, and I get Brett Hundley at quarterback. Like I said, I want a Packer or a Bronco at quarterback. I was trying to go for Simeon, but the guy that had the Colts, he wasn't joined in yet, so he was controlled by a CPU. We can't trade with a CPU yet, but he finally joined in. But by that time, it was too late, so I decided to get Brett Hundley and a 4th round pick for Kenny Clark. And like I said, I'm going to stockpile on these 3rd and 4th round picks, because in the rookie draft, there's some pretty good rookies still late that necessarily don't go in the 1st round. So let's look at Brett Hundley's stats really quick. If you look here, man, he's got 85 speed. So a lot of those play action passes, I'm gonna get out of the pocket. 87 short accuracy, 91 throw power. This is significant as well, because I need somebody who's going to be accurate on the run, who could throw short. Never know, I might have to have quick throws to the tight end, quick throws to the slot receiver that has short accuracy. So medium accuracy 71, deep accuracy 71, not too bad. Throw on the run is 74. You might have to improve that a little bit. Play action is 80. Carrying is 56, but loosen is 71. So he's pretty good, man. I mean, he is only 70 overall, but he is only 24 years old. So I'm going to be able to progress him pretty well. Above him, I actually signed Chad Kelly. Chad Kelly plays for the Broncos. I believe they have him on the PUP list because he is hurt. He is maybe a draft and stash type of player, because he came out of college. He had a really good college career, so I'm excited to see what we do with him, because if Simeon doesn't pan out, Paxton Lynch has looked pretty average, below average. I mean, he can't read defenses yet, so I don't think he'll play for the Broncos. And then we have Brissett, then we have Cutler as well. I'm probably going to get rid of one of these quarterbacks because I don't need 4 quarterbacks. But let's just get into this, man. We going up against the Cowboys week 2. Brett Hundley at the helm this time, man. Let's go.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's the Cowboys going up against the Broncos.
Man, one thing I'm worried about in this game is that I'm going to have to rely a lot on the trust between my new starting quarterback and my rookie receivers, because he's got a pretty good secondary, so I'm going to rely on them a lot to get some separation in this game. But here I'm on defense to start the game, and he's got an early 3rd and 3, drops back to pass, and that man Shane Ray comes around the edge, and he grabs him, brings him down. But on the next play, Isaiah Crowell, a couple plays later, fumbles, and we give him the ball right back after an early punt. And here I'm getting Dak to roll out. He gets hit on the throw, and they do settle for 3 points. So the Cowboys take the early 3-0 lead in this game. And here I just want to establish the run, get Isaiah Crowell's confidence back up. So I give it to him on an inside zone. And here on a 3rd and 7, Brett Hundley misses he wasn't wide open, but it was an open throw. I mean, he could have made it. So here the Cowboys get the ball back, and on a play action on the first play, throwing right to me, and that one's Arthur Moats on the pick. So Arthur Moats was actually a guy that was on my chopping block. I was thinking about getting a replacement for him, but right there, moments like that make it hard to let go of a player. So here I'm giving the ball back to Isaiah Crowell, and he gets a nice little 20-30 yard run. And here on 1st and 10, I'm rolling out left with Brett Hundley. Don't find anything, so I'm going to scramble up here for a good 7-yard gain. But on a 3rd and 4, I get the first down with Crowell. So Crowell, man, I'm telling you, he's got that perfect blend of power and speed. So here on 3rd and goal, I'm rolling out right, and I find Demaryius Thomas in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. And the Broncos are going to take the early 7-3 lead. And here on a 3rd and 10, he gets the ball back, tries to test, big play. Slay makes a great pick on that. I don't know what he saw on that one. He just threw it up, literally. He didn't even throw it deep enough. But here is Isaiah Crowell as well, getting another 11, 12-yard gain. I probably could have took that one to the house if I would have kept running to the outside there. But here, Noah Spence is getting in for the sack. That's actually Shaq Lawson. I have Noah Spence, but Shaq Lawson was destroying my right tackle all game. But here I'm getting the ball, making up for that play. Pass to Chris Godwin there, man. Chris Godwin is going to be a beast. He's going to be superstar trait in no time. But here, Brett Hundley severely overthrows his receiver here. I actually underthrew that when I threw it down. I let it down, and he threw it up. So that was an easy pick for them. So they do get the ball back, trying to establish a run. They're giving the ball here to Jordan Howard for a nice 8-yard gain. But Dak Prescott comes back on his next drive, and he throws a pick. Awuzie, I'm telling you, man, Chidobe Awuzie is one of the most underrated corners in this game. If you have a fantasy draft, if you want to trade for a corner that's a good rookie that, a lot of people aren't going after, it's Awuzie. But here, Gerald Everett, after the playmaker gets open, and he's in for the touchdown. Gerald Everett, he's got speed. He's another rookie that's a good tight end. And here he's trying to roll out left a little bit, gets out of the pocket. Noah Spence gets after it, and Noah Spence actually is showing me something this game. He's getting a whole lot of push on his left tackle. So here I'm giving the ball to Isaiah Crowell. Isaiah Crowell's getting a nice little gain here. So this is right before the half. 2 minutes left in the half, so I'm on a 2-minute drill. So here, once again, Shaq Lawson comes around the corner, gets the sack, so I'm forced to punt. So he gets the ball back with 30 seconds left. So all he has to do is go down the field. He doesn't even necessarily have to, but here he throws down, and it's right to Tavon Wilson, and Tavon Wilson continues his interception streak. Remember, he had a huge game last week, and once again throws another pick to TAVON Wilson. I mean, he is a ball magnet. He's around the ball all game, man. You can't. It's funny, man. I would have never thought that TAVON Wilson would have been this guy to always. He's probably my best defensive player at this point. Not ratings wise, but as far as playmaking, because Joey Bosa is supposed to be that guy. Joey Bosa does make good plays, but TAVON Wilson is just a straight playmaker. But here, once again, we are on to the second half, and Shaq Lawson's around the corner. So on the 2nd and 18, Brett Hundley's dropping back, finding Gerald Everett once again. Gerald Everett is having a big game this game. So I do hurry it up, run the ball with Isaiah Crowell, and he gets a nice 9-yard gain there. So we're at a 2nd and 2 here on a play action roll out to the left. But he's going to send the corner blitz, and here Grease is going to get in, and that was a user sack on that one. So I'm on to a 3rd and 15, and I see Godwin open on the slant, and he gets smacked and fumbles, and the Cowboys are going to pick that one up, get it back to the 43, so they come out on their next possession with another turnover here, and once again, Chidobe Awuzie actually gets beat on that coverage there. He was on a press there, and his receiver got off of it. So now he's on to a 2nd and 8 in the red zone, and he finds a wide open Jordan Matthews over the middle on the slant. So the Cowboys trim this lead to 2 scores now, but I find Gerald Everett on the next drive over the middle once again. He's having a huge game, his best game so far. And here Brett Hundley is dropping back once again, finding Chris Godwin. And that time I try to get down, but I still get hit. So here on a 3rd and 3, Isaiah Crowell is going to get the ball all the way down to the 1. So we're about to punch this in, but after a botched play, I'm down to the 5, and he gets smacked and fumbles once again. And luckily, with all the Cowboys around that one, Janovich gets back and falls on it. So we're at a 3rd and goal here, and I'm just trying to find something. If I don't have anything, I was just going to scramble and slide down. So that's what I do. So now we have the 27-10 lead late in the 3rd quarter, and he's finally getting a little bit of a passing game going. He hasn't been able to do nothing through the air. And here Dak Prescott is dropping back, but Joey Bosa isn't allowing him to get out of the pocket. So he's faced with a 2nd and 14. And he throws right to my user there. That was a user on that one. And, man, that was such an easy interception. I mean, I read that one like a book. So I get the ball back. And here on a 2nd and 10, Brett Hundley's going to drop back, have a clean pocket, and find his man, Gerald Everett, once again. He's having a huge game this game. And here I'm going to find Isaiah Crowell. He's going to run to the outside. And he straight destroys the defender on that one, almost at 100 yards. So Brett Hundley drops back on the next play, and once again is taking another sack and fumbling again. But look at how open Mary Thomas is on this next play, and look where he throws it right to the defender. And man, that one wasn't even close. So at this point, I'm getting pretty upset because Brett Hundley is not only getting sacked and fumbling, he's throwing. I mean, his accuracy is so bad. But here on a 3rd and 10, he's finding his receiver over the middle. So he's got a 4th and inches here. And he's going to hurry up to the line late in this game. And Dak Prescott's calling the plays out. But look at this user lurk. Give me that. That one's going to seal the game. So now we have a 27-10 lead, and I'm just trying to get some stats here. I'm trying to at least get Brett Hundley's confidence going because he's been struggling all game, and he finds Carlos Henderson with a great touch pass over the top of the defense, over the top of his user there. So Carlos Henderson, man, he needs to get a lot better on the outside of route running because at this point he's not doing anything. He's getting locked up this whole game until that touchdown. But TAVON Wilson gets his 3rd pick. I'm telling you, man, I'm starting the TAVON Wilson for MVP train because he has 6 picks through 2 games already. And here I'm going to extend the lead to 37-10. and he has one last shot here with under a minute left, and Noah Spence is not going to let him go anywhere. So the Cowboys fall to the Broncos. The Broncos are 2-0 now, and this one is in dominant fashion. We win by 27 points, and this one wasn't even close from start to finish. He couldn't do anything on offense, and I'm telling you, TAVON Wilson really made the difference here. Brett Hundley, he went 13 for 24. Remember, that's a big difference from Jacoby Brissett. I think Jacoby Brissett had 3 incompletions, and the difference in accuracy is, I mean, it was eye-opening. But I think I'm going to put Brissett back in there. But look at this. We have 8 interceptions on the game. I mean, our defense is really coming into form. Hit subscribe. Hit that like button. We'll be back for week 3. TAVON Wilson for MVP.